Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. I think the worst is behind us. Just as an XRP community, I think the worst is behind us. And I actually mean that in a couple different ways. If you're just talking about broader crypto markets and just think about the disaster of a dumpster fire that 2022 was for crypto markets, I think it's highly likely that, yes, we've actually seen the bottom, and it was in November of last year. Now, specifically for us as XRP holders, though, have you heard the news that broke yesterday evening? If not, I'd love to get you caught up to speed. Now, I'm not going to in this video, but I'll note I did make a video that was almost 40 minutes long. I published it today, and it had to do with a ruling from Judge Torres yesterday, not on summary judgment, which would be the completion of this case potentially anyway. There could be a jury trial, though. There's any number of ways this could go. But what we did get is a highly consequential ruling from Judge Torres having to do with what expert witness testimony would be allowed to be considered and what would not be allowed. And I'll just say this, it wasn't perfect for either side, but it was really good for Ripple, frankly. And so I just sitting there as I was going through it, I was like, really, I do think the worst is behind us. We've been dealing with this crap with the SEC for over 2 years. But I think what's most probable is that the worst is behind us. And I don't know that for sure. There is a possibility here, like, say Ripple gets an outright win. Maybe this thing gets dragged out to the appellate level, then ultimately to the Supreme Court. In which case, if that happens, fine, I will retract this statement. But outside of that, I mean, what's most probable to this point? I don't suspect that this is going to be an outright win for Ripple, but it could still be fantastic for XRP holders as long as there's a path forward for XRP. And to me, that just seems to be what's probable. And if that's the case, if the SEC gets a technical win, as long as there's a path forward for XRP, you're not going to see appeals. And I was kind of talking about this in my very last video, in fact. And so with the market being where it is for crypto, just in a general sense, and with all this lining up right now, we may have a very exciting 2023, unless we get some unexpected, ridiculously terrible ruling from Judge Torres. The degree to which XRP might rocket, if we get good news here, I don't make price predictions, and I don't know for sure, but if this does go well for XRP holders, depending on how Judge Torres words the ruling, some serious fireworks could be in store. And I'm here for it. I am looking forward to it. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So here's a headline from CoinGape, and I just kind of want to make a broader point. I don't feel the need to read the article, especially since in my last couple of videos I've been talking sufficiently about what has happened as a result of Judge Torres' ruling having to do with the expert witness testimony. But here's the headline from CoinGape. XRP to 40 cents. Judge Torres denies SEC motion to exclude testimony. And so part of what they were wondering is, are we going to see a bump in XRP price as a result of this ruling? Well, I think the concept's kind of silly at this point because, frankly, it's been over 12 hours since that news broke. If that were going to do something, it probably would have done it by now, unless you think that people need time to digest it because it's some sort of legal happening. But I don't really buy that argument, frankly. I think that people have already placed their bets, in terms of if they think that things are going to go well, maybe they bought a boatload of XRP. I think a lot of people probably did that. And so what's going to set that off? Well, not this ruling, as important as it is. I'm not pretending like it's not important. People are waiting to see what happens regarding her decision for summary judgment. That's what they're waiting for here. So in the meantime, we do have XRP at 37 cents. And, global markets, in terms of XRP price, did not respond despite the good news that we saw from Torres' ruling last night. So XRP, 37 cents, Bitcoin, $22,461. Market cap for the asset class, a little over 1 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance at 41.74%. You got the crypto fear and greed index at 49 out of 100, which is neutral. But hey, at least the typical, lovable, cuddly little retail lemmings out there, at least they're not in fear. And I can always sleep well knowing that they're not in fear. I don't want them to suffer out there. But are we going to see a new all-time high this year? Well, check this out. So I have previously shared that chart analyst Credible Crypto, who is one of my favorite analysts out there, he's got 337,000 followers, He up until literally today was the only analyst that I follow that was talking about a new all-time high this year for Bitcoin. And so I do think, like, as has always been the case, Bitcoin will be the coin that leads us out of the depths of the bear market. It always has, and it will for the foreseeable future. I don't see any sort of change in human behavior that would make me think this time's any different, and that's fine. I still like Bitcoin. I'm not excited about it, but I like Bitcoin. I own it. And I think that Bitcoin will lead, and then that money gets rotated into large cap coins, then mid cap coins, and then small cap coins, rinse and repeat. So he still believes this is the case, and I'm going to share with you a perspective from a second analyst who is saying that he believes the same thing could happen. And it's actually hard to find this perspective. This is a truly minority perspective, but I respect the analysts who are putting their neck on the line talking about this type of activity. And look, I would love it. I would love for them to be right. Maybe he is. I don't pretend to know. I'm glad I'm not an analyst, because I'll tell you what, yes, any YouTuber, fine. Any YouTuber is going to take heat, and no matter what you're covering, crypto, you could be covering some sort of unrelated thing, hobby that you're interested in. There'll always be people out there who give you heat if you're, putting content and opinion out there. But I have to tell you, I am so happy that I am not a technical analyst, because they take it way worse than your typical crypto YouTuber. Okay, the technical analysts, my God, people get fiery if expectations are set and then certain things don't happen. So I have no interest in that. I'm not going to make predictions. I'll tell you that. But he was asked here by somebody named Freitoshi, you honestly still see all-time high this year, Cred? There's always a chance, but it seems way more likely we're going to have a crabby AF year whilst the FTX dust settles. Incredible Crypto, sharing his consistent confidence, wrote the following. Yup, no change. If I'm right that we are missing a final impulse for this cycle and that it has started, it would actually make a lot more sense for us to see new all-time high in 2023 rather than after 2023. People struggle to see such aggressive rises, but it's literally the norm in crypto. Has happened twice in this cycle already, but still most view it happening again as an impossibility. I understand that the FTX collapse came completely out of left field, but with record highs, 73% of all Bitcoin in existence now in diamond holders' hands, most of the damage has already been done, in my opinion, and supply is constricted at levels never seen before. Meaning, when we start running, we probably run harder than most are expecting. Well, I'll tell you what, I hope that he's right. And I've made the point too, it's pretty obvious. You don't have to be a chart guy to know this. Most of the people that were going to exit stage left, as prices started coming down in crypto, they've already exited. Then you get to people who's left. People like me and you listening to this. I'm willing to bet that you fall in this boat too if you're still, interested in anything crypto related right now. You're probably stubborn as hell like me. You just refuse to be shaken out of your position. I'd be willing to hazard that's a lot of you listening anyway. And I really am one of those. I could not be more serious when I say this. If I'm wrong about crypto, and fine, maybe I am, and it all goes to zero, I'm going to write it to zero, because I have no interest in being shaken out of my position due to short-term price action. Crypto's here to stay. I am one of the actual true believers in the long-term viability and usefulness of crypto, period. That's why I'm so excited about it, though. There's a reason I make videos just about literally every single day. So then there was the article from the Daily Hodl covering another analyst who also thinks it's possible we could see an all-time high this year. So here's an article titled, Bitcoin burst to all-time high perfectly feasible in 2023, according to analysts who predicted major Bitcoin crash. An analyst who accurately called the big crypto crash of May 2021 says that Bitcoin going to its all-time high this year is not completely off the table. Pseudonymous analyst Dave the Wave, who also predicted Bitcoin recovering from the bear market near the $20,000 level, lists 4 reasons why a Bitcoin rally up to its high at around $69,000 in 2023 is not an unreasonable expectation. And I haven't found, it's probably been a long time since I've mentioned him on my channel. I have talked about him on before. He is one of the analysts I follow. And he's got 136,000 followers on Twitter. Pretty well-known guy, and crypto media covers the content he puts out pretty regularly, honestly. But here's what he tweeted out. A move to push previous Bitcoin all-time highs this year is perfectly feasible. And then he's got 4 bullet points. Number 1, less steep rate of appreciation. 2, plenty of time equal to the decline. 3, only midway on the logarithmic growth curve channel. 4, 25% of the way there already, end quote. The analyst specializes in using logarithmic growth curves, or LCGs for short, which aim to map out Bitcoin's long-term fair value throughout cycles of volatility to the upside and downside. Ever since June of 2022, Bitcoin has been in the buy zone of Dave the Wave's LGC. He notes that it bodes well for Bitcoin that price has been ranging in his buy zone for over 8 months now. And he said, quote, perhaps a positive to see Bitcoin price in the LGC buy zone for a lengthy period. The easy money will be had by those who build a position, if not already long, rather than those who try to trade the short-term volatility. Of course, this involves time, and of course involves the LGC model, which, if held, should always be hedged, end quote. And so, again, I appreciate it when analysts put their necks on the line here, because you know people are going to be screaming at them if this doesn't happen. That's just that's the nature of what it is to be a chart guy on social media. So who knows? Maybe they're right. Maybe it really does happen. And if not, look, the good thing about my particular approach to investing in stocks and crypto is after I buy something, I don't do anything. That's it, because I firmly believe, and history has proven it to be true to this point, certainly, you trend up. Stocks have been trending up, even despite multi-year instances of stagnation or after decline. That stuff happens, but endlessly trending up. Over 100 years worth of data proving this. We got 14 years of data showing this is true for crypto. So the good news is, even if they are wrong, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, which is precisely nothing. It's the laziest, least sexy approach to investing. I get it. There's no bells, there's no whistles, but it freaking works. It just works. And that's all I want. That's all I want. So I'm just going to hold my crypto tight and sleep easy at night. It doesn't matter in the end. I just like talking about it because it's a topic I'm genuinely interested in, but in the end, it doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't. But that's a cool thing. So lots to look forward to. So look, get ready for the fun part. Get ready for the fun part, because I think it's coming. At the end of the SEC case, looks like we're past the bottom of the bear market. It's go time. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family sedan.